All right, part 3 of critical race. Israel, Palestine, Iran, twin 9/11 event, all these things playing out. Okay, let's connect a little bit of more matrix about the Islam and the return of Mahdi, the Mad D, the Dark Dawn, the Double D coming up at you. So let's break some things down, okay? So Islam, this is the end of time of the 12er. The 12er is the T for Trump, and the W is the 23rd letter, and that's the double U for the double 21s, because we saw 121 in, and we're seeing the other 21 that we're tracking for that 21 and up. And that 10-18 that Biden went to Israel tells us the time frame of that 18, and then that 24 and up, 21 and up connects us to another time frame that I'll be figuring out, okay? But the 22 connects us to the Revelation 22 and the 9/11 22-year anniversary, which is connecting us to next year on the 23, which is another Skull and Bones year. So 23 to 23 is connecting some things. But all right. So the Elver is the ER for the hospital. Obama, the Dark Sun, brought the hospital, the hospital, the free healthcare, and then the Bad Dawn, he opened the pit with the invisible enemy, and then the forbidden fruit, he handed out the serpent fang for everybody to go get bit by, okay? So the Elver, the elf is tied to the Elvis, the Levi, the Mary, those types of things, the king spirit. What he did is he went on live TV, and he got the thing in the arm for polio or whatever. So that's marking one time frame, okay, that live event. And then you're going to that other live event that started when Elon went down to the border live and starting that live golf game for that hole in one. All right. So, or that hole in one. So that's marking one time frame of a test of man and the test of bringing on the credit cards, bringing on the new heaven, the new earth, and all these things, okay? And as the church came in and said, that's Satan's music, rock and roll Satan music. Okay, what gave them the right to do these kinds of things, okay? So that's where you get the start of the Bell worship and all those things. And before that, you had man and woman living divided, and man took care of the household, and man was the final word. And it was like full-blown cult of Paul back then, where women had to sit in the corner and shut up and stuff, okay? So there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're lifting yourself up, and you're saying you're better than other people because of it, or you're lifting yourself up in the hardness of your own heart and making laws and whatever, that's where it's wrong. And that's where these people who are under the religious laws, they're going to go into these types of systems. They're going to become extreme fundamental as they leave society and leave technology and are cast back down to the ground. And the Iran, Saudi Arabia, Middle East conflicts, all these things, it's going to this is a way to divide by the bowels, and the oil comes from the belly of the earth. The serpent's cast down to the belly. So the oil, all this old age shit is all going to go away. And as it's going to away, it's going to cool people down there in Oklahoma, Texas, the Bible Belt, all these areas. They got these oil wells that aren't working. So it's a perfect ploy. When the oil goes away, these people have to walk and get into shape or whatever. Like the food's going to be there, in a matter of speaking, but you're going to have to walk to go get it, or different things, okay? So there's going to be different things playing out, but as the new structure and the new America is being set up, the old one is going to go chasing after the oil because they're cast down to the ground, and go chasing the paper, the money, because they've been given over to the image that's been given life to give them their buying and selling. They've been cast over to the 603 scores of the credit score to get their credit and free money so they can go and live with their evil deeds and their bondage and all this other shit, okay? So this is where owning a home, when you rent a home, you're the tent dweller, in a matter of speaking. You can just pack up and leave whenever you need to. When you live in a home and you own a home, you're locked down and you don't just want to leave. You don't just want to flee and get the hell out when you need to get out. It's a catch-22, and you're in that fucking 22 right now. Okay. And then there's another 22 because we're on that 10, 18, the 18 and up, and the 21's coming. So the 21, and that 21 connects us to when Trump, the Dark Dawn, we see the McHenry, that Jordan River, that gem, Jordan, that gem for that ring of fire. He's filling up that river, and we got the Jordan, Israel. But this is where the dawn will come and rise up out of the river, in a matter of speaking. And that McHenry is that egg that's going to be hatching for him. And it lines up with the Capricorn and Pluto and all those other things, okay? So the live event, Elvis Live to this live, this is when the people are going to know what they did. They're going to know what the hospital, all these things are. And that's one structure of the hospital that's going to be taken away in one way, shape, or form. And it's going to be brought to us in another way, okay? This is where they're telling you that this kind of treatment or whatever, that one changed your RNA. That's the ribbon nucleic acid, the one that bombs the temple. But basically, the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest, that one changes your DNA and those types of things. And there's other ones that change your DNA. But all these things are there for y'all to research and whatever. And this is where RFK comes in. And he was part of that Mercury project. The Mercury project, that's tied to bombs and such. And Marie Curie, whatever her name was, she did the periodic table of elements or helped do some of that stuff. But that's tied to the Mercury project, and that Mercury project is tied to the RFK. What he's going to do is going to be giving him, he's that Moses speaker who can speak with the air on, and he's going to bring some truth and light to what has happened, and the things that were in the early truth community or whatever, like the Kennedy assassination, that kind of stuff, is all going to be coming out is in one way, shape, or form. And this is where you get the rebels coming in and trying to bring down the government that's been supposedly overtaken, but they don't ever understand the change in America and where we're going, and they don't understand the church age being over. And since all these things, they're the sheep and among the wolves, and they're all going to go nuts, okay? If the wolves and lions and whatever don't get them, and the hunters, they're going to get caught in the barbed wire, okay? And that's that Trump for that rum, for that Babylon's wine, that L for the Bud Light. That L is the god of the Hebrew. The L, the flight of beer, for the Pale L. And that Pale L, that Palestine, the Hebrew, and all those things work with that Pale Rider, okay? And that Pale, that Jack and Jill, Hurricane Hill, all right? You got the fire going. The Hurricane Hill started. They got to go up that hill, fetch the pail of water to put out that fire. But instead, he's going to break his crown and come rolling down that hill. And Israel, Rome, all those things, that's that the church teaches is the mountain on that 7 hills or whatever they teach, okay? But Babylon, America, is that nation that's on the 7 hills that controls the 7 continents, okay? And then we have the 8th continent they're talking about that's underwater. That would maybe be the Atlantis nation that we're told about. But that was the 8th. That would be the 8th for that time of infinity on earth, in a matter of speaking. And the new heaven and earth is changing. And either way, y'all. So The time to leave the churches is now. All right? The religious war is going to suck all the Christians in, okay? The Christians that aren't fundamental now, they will be fundamental. And there's going to be different things going on, and people are going to be chasing the money. They're going to be chasing the oil or gas, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be chasing the old ways, the old school, the old school. Anyways, y'all, Muslims, that's the M, the 1-3, the 3 or 1, the U.S., the L, the I'm, all right? God is us and our. It's us and our. It's the things you see with the us, the Muslim, the Jesus, all those things, okay? So these are the times of the end. The dreams and visions have been given. The past couple years, few years, the talents, they've been used. The late nights, day and night, searching, seeking for these things to bring to y'all, to let you know, to warn you. I know the day and hour. I'm letting you all know the day and hour because I know that the wolves are among you in the wool suits with the leash on them. I know the pastors are the Pharisees. I know the churches are the synagogues. I'm warning y'all to leave. It's your own choice. Antichrist is against man. Man's already placed his judgment. And his name is going to go against his number and against the beast. The beasts are going to go against his name and number. The number is going to go against his name and the beast. It's the old trifecta, the try all. And as he tries all and he sears the heads, that heat's going to build around them and that water's going to evaporate. That temple's going to break. That heart's going to fail. And this is why they're coming out with these new treatments, these new psychedelic treatments and stuff, because the church is going to have to go and get their ketamine trips or their mushroom trips or their LSD trips or whatever to help them break what has just been shown to them. Because they've been shown and taught a full-blown lie by the television, by the world stage, by the pastors, the pasture for the beast to eat on, for the pasture, for the men who are deaf, for the men who live their life under the law that Jesus did away with. He didn't come to destroy it. He came to fulfill it. How did he fulfill it? Because the Jews killed him for not obeying their law. And Jesus, when you read about the missing years, he went against all the religions pretty much. They don't want you to know all this stuff. Because they're the heart of Baal worship. They're the ones lifted with the pride. American pride. Pride before the fall. And lo and behold, Pride Month is around the 24/7, 7/24 mark. Correct? So, over and over again, the signs are in front of you. For those of you who have the eyes and ears, the abomination of desolation has been set up. The critical race with Iran and the Wall King and all this shit is playing out. And it's time for you to go.